Okay, Leo. Let's go and get into your reading for the midpoint of May 2019. My apologies for the delay. It's been pretty busy for me. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading. You're the last reading. Show me for Leo energy. Okay. So, first card out, you have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords can talk about others treating us poorly, people who play mind games, sometimes where we play mind games with ourselves and we might be getting into behavior that is not healthy for ourselves, but we still do it anyhow. Sometimes it is depression, feeling that others are against you. Sometimes people who cause conflict in our lives without regard for us at all, and they just do it because they do it and they're not healthy. So I feel like doing a Celtic cross. Let's go ahead and get into that. The obstacle, you have the High Priestess. A High Priestess talks about secrets. She talks about things that are hidden, not revealed. Sometimes people keeping things from us, things that are not in the light. You may be dealing with somebody who has been very difficult to handle, but also they may not be communicating with you the truth of a matter or a situation. What's beneath you? The Six of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles can talk about people giving to multiple people a sense of disharmony and balance in a situation. Sometimes one person getting more than another. Sometimes somebody not knowing about another person who's been given to. So that might be part of the secret. Past, we have the Three of Cups. So if that's what's happened in the past, it's likely that somebody had a third-party situation. It's likely that somebody was giving to somebody and not communicating with you what their actions were. Future energy, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this is upright. This talks about holding on to situations. It talks about, not letting anything in, not letting anything out. It talks about stagnation. Sometimes we hold on to people thinking that they're the right people for us, and they prove us incredibly wrong. But it happens, In reverse, this talks about letting it go. It's interesting that the Death card here, the Grim Reaper, is here in this card, though, too. The imagery that talks about like almost a forced release. It may be difficult to let this go. It may be difficult to open yourself up and allow the reality to sink in, but it feels like it's happening. What's coming into the future? So you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Three of Pentacles in reverse talks about, upright, it talks about taking, making connections with people. It talks about building towards the same ideas, the same goals, achieving the same things, being under the same mindset as others so that you can achieve something together. A lot of the time it's dating. A lot of the time it is saying, hey, I love you, you love me, let's go ahead and do this thing together. In reverse, it's the opposite of that. We're not doing that. We're not connecting. We're not trying to build together. We're not trying to make something happen together. It's almost as if the goals are kind of done. Okay? Your energy in space. Knight of Swords in reverse. So this could be you. This could be them. It is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. But the Knight of Swords in reverse is somebody who's very brash. They are brazen. Sometimes they are out of control with their words. It can sometimes lead to fighting, frustration, out of balance energy in their communication and their thoughts. Sometimes it is you being super pissed off and, just leaning into somebody but not knowing the full truth of it. This can talk about somebody who creates problems. It can also talk about somebody who's flying off the handle, who doesn't know all of the information, but it's enough to the point where they're pissed off about it. What's coming toward you, Leo? You have the Hierophant. So it's interesting because this, I know this has so many different meanings. It's a very unique card, but what I'm feeling here is levels of secrecy again, for some reason. Like the Hierophant is depicted by the Pope. This talks about big organizations. It talks about school. It talks about, churches, religion. It talks about the things that we have been raised to believe. It's also a card of Taurus. But here I feel with the High Priestess and the Hierophant, they have like a secrecy. There's something here it's almost like a secrecy that is bigger than and it's hiding more than under the guise of something that seems okay, or maybe it seemed okay, but it's not what it is. I'm going to pull more for that in a minute. Let's just get to your next card. In the position of hopes, fears, worries, concerns, you have the Six of Cups in reverse. So the Six of Cups in reverse is essentially, it can talk about a lot of things. Six of Cups upright, it talks about people that we have had lifetime relationships with, previous lifetime relationships with. The connection is strong, the bond is strong. Sometimes it's so strong, but the situation that we're experiencing with that person is not indicative of something that we want to maintain. It's almost like those karmic relationships. I'm not big on twin flame thing. It's not my thing. I believe everybody's our soulmate. Like, I'm your soulmate, you're my soulmate. The fact that we're together right now, soulmate energy. But I think it's important here to recognize here that we don't romanticize letting this go. We don't romanticize that back and forth, wanting to go back to somebody or not go back to somebody. Like, this is in hopes, fears, worries, concerns. So this is a concern. It feels like more of a concern, like that tug of war with the heart. What is the outcome card? Good. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So somebody who is nurturing. This is likely you nurturing a situation, nurturing yourself out of a situation, paying attention to your money, I think almost like kind of, you might need to do that incredibly, I don't want to say obsessively, but be very diligent in that. That's going to help you stabilize things. It also is a call to pay attention to your home, pay attention to the situations and things that you have in your home. It can talk about redoing your house. It can talk about what I'm feeling here is more of a stability within the home where you're actually feeling comfortable in your surroundings. You are stable financially, or you're attaining stability financially. But the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who she nurtures. She's like the Empress type energy. She makes things happen out of nothing. Okay, so that's really positive energy. And at the bottom of the deck, you have Strength. Strength is Leo energy, your energy most definitely. Strength talks about having strength. It talks about having patience. Recognizing our egoic and animalistic side, our reactionary side, and stepping away from it, calming it down. It talks about patience. It talks about basically dealing with situations that call you to have to really look at situations and people for what they are, and not sugarcoat, So let's go ahead and pull clarifiers. So for the Five of Swords, not Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, we have the Moon. So it's in reverse now, which is great. The Moon in reverse talks about secrets, things that are hidden, things that are cloaked in darkness and silence, things that we don't know about, being opened, being released, communication happening, or if it's not communication, somebody is finding out about the depth of the issue here, okay, with this person, Leo. Show me the High Priestess. High Priestess, you have the Ten of Swords. So releasing negative energy, exhausting mental frustration, stabbed in the back over and over and over again because of these types of secrets. You know, somebody who essentially maintained a fair amount of secrecy in their life, and what it did was betray the hell out of you. That type of energy. Six of Pentacles, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune, this person may just continue this type of behavior no matter who they're with. You can't force that to change from somebody. I would say definitely take your time, balance yourself out, and give yourself the opportunity to move away from something that is supported. That is supported for you. Maintaining a relationship with this person almost feels like it's going to continue cycles within it. So even if it's not you, it's going to be with somebody else for that person. But if you do maintain a relationship with this person, I don't advise it, just because it would be perpetuating that cycle. It's not healthy. For the Three of Cups in the past, you have the King of Swords. So this is essentially, you could have been dealing with a Libra, an Aquarius, or a Gemini, but this is talking about getting very real with yourself, being less emotional in a situation. This is talking about cutting energy out. Now, this third-party situation, if it is a third-party situation, which seems like it may have been dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But also it could have been somebody who was very tight-lipped about that, very emotionless about it. And it also can be you just saying, hey, no more. I cut this out. I've had enough. This is not healthy for me. The Four of Pentacles in reverse, you have the Fool in reverse. So if this feels like a difficult thing to let go of, it's important that you do. Maintaining it literally causes you to, it's not healthy here. This person doesn't seem like they are sure-footed. It doesn't seem like they are somebody who you can trust. They probably can't trust themselves. The Fool is reckless in their behavior, especially in reverse. They don't really pay attention to the things that would have ramifications for everybody that's involved in the situations that they're dealing with. You know, and it feels like you're letting go of that. It feels like you are letting go of that type of energy. Also, the Fool in reverse talks about not moving forward with somebody, not taking any type of new steps with somebody just because you're not going to get off the ground with it. There's no point in that. So you'd rather let it go. The Three of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So the Three of Pentacles in reverse and the Five of Pentacles in reverse, that's interesting energy. It's almost like by letting go of this type of thing, by letting go of, like, Marcel, by letting go of let me rephrase this, by not going into a situation with somebody, by not creating, you know, further extensions with them, further bonds, further, you know, goals or anything like that, you essentially take yourself out of the cold, because it feels like you have been in the cold. It feels like you've been removed from the situation so much by not being able to experience truth in a situation or understand what's been going on, that it's kept you in the dark. It's kept you in the cold. Now somebody has kept you in the cold. Now, by you choosing to go away from that, you allow yourself freedom from that type of energy. It gets it off of it gets you out of that. The Knight of Swords in reverse for your current energy, space, emotions. You have for sure, you've got the Nine of Wands. This is having stellar boundaries with a person. This is also being defensive. It's about being tired of dealing with somebody who is kind of reckless, who doesn't see eye to eye with you. Somebody who needs to have boundaries implemented because it doesn't seem like they have boundaries of their own, or they are very selective in regard to how they exhibit those boundaries. The Hierophant in what's coming for you, you have the Four of Swords. So in regard to this, and I still do, I feel secrecy here. I feel secrecy with this energy, with this person. But what I'm feeling here too is that you may in the future, or from this situation, decide to take a total break from it, decide to let it be. And you may go towards something that is outwardly more, how do I say that? Outwardly more if you are going to get involved with things, it's going to be through community type stuff. If you meet somebody new, it may be through community type things. But whatever this is, the break from here, it's almost as if like getting back into a community or getting back into situations with people that are like-minded, learning from somebody, learning from, I don't want to say a guru, but like teachers. If you're going back to school, if you're going back to, learning certain things, like that may be a good place to start, because it kind of takes you out of this energy. It helps you clear things up, Leo. So that may be helpful for you. Show me the So for the Six of Cups in reverse, you have the Ace of Swords coming out in reverse. This is basically, if you are romanticizing a situation here, if you're having a difficult time letting go of it, I want you to be conscious and look at how that affects you. Is that honest to yourself? Is that promoting honesty, wisdom, growth? Does that promote clarity? Or does it cause you to remain in a state of confusion? And that doesn't mean that that has to exactly be happening, because this is hopes, fears, worries, concerns area. But like what I'm feeling is like that might be a concern. Like look at something for what it is. And, that takes a fair amount of honesty. It takes a fair amount of patience and understanding, but you can do that considering this is the main energy of this whole reading. This is what we need to step into. The Queen of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So she's holding, it's interesting. I feel that this energy is not giving to a situation any longer. It's not giving that opportunity, that potential. Here, if you look at this card deeply, look at her pentacle that she's holding up, okay? Same pentacle, basically, but look at her. Her pentacle has a picture of her in it. She's looking at herself. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this not shake. Focus on yourself. That's what it is here. Focus on yourself. Do not give any more to a situation that is proven to be fruitless. Especially if somebody's been deceptive with you emotionally, mentally, and morally. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Cups. It can talk about confusion, but it also talks about looking at your options, looking at the things that are potentials for you, and how you can strengthen those things. So let's go ahead and get into an oracle card for you, Leo, and we will finish on that note. Yeah, pay attention to what makes you happy in your life. Don't give to anybody anymore if they're not reciprocal, if they've been deceptive with you and it's just not healthy. Like, what's the point in that? It may be difficult to walk away, but what's the point in maintaining that kind of behavior? You can't change somebody, and it doesn't feel like they're really, I don't know. It just feels like they kind of will do that again. Okay, so you have Owl. Owl, owl, owl. All right, Leo. Owl. Ancient wisdom, intuition, observation, guidance. The owl sits high in the trees, its sharp vision allowing it to spot the smallest creatures hiding in the grass and brush. The ancient Greeks and Romans associated it with the divine wisdom, and it is affiliated with the goddess Athena. The owl is able to see what's hidden, including deceit. The bare branches in the card may represent clarity. Nothing can hide from the owl. If you're going through a confusing time and tough decisions, pull back and simply observe what is around you. Observe what's around you. Observe what this person has shown you. Have clarity within the matter and move forward towards what you need in your life. Okay. All right, Leo. So I hope this reading was helpful. If you found it helpful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you choose to donate, there's a link in the description box below, and I will be back in a few weeks for the beginning June. Oh boy, I'm all over I'm time traveling. June 2019 readings. Almost said 2009. Really time traveling. All right, you guys. I hope you have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.